Imagine this. You're on a beautiful tropical vacation, surrounded by lush greenery and exotic wildlife. You get a few mosquito bites. No big deal, right? You scratch them and move on. But then, a few days later, one of those bites starts to feel different. It swells up, gets red, and there's a tiny little hole in the center. At first, you might think it's just an infected bite, but then you notice something truly unsettling. The hole seems to pulse, and sometimes a little bubble of clear fluid oozes out. Days turn into weeks, and the lump grows. It's tender to the touch, and you start to feel a bizarre phantom sensation under your skin. A little tickle, a subtle squirming. It's a feeling that sends a shiver down your spine, a deep primal sense that something is horribly wrong. You feel something moving inside you. What I'm describing isn't a scene from a horror movie. It's the very real experience of someone infested with a human botfly larva. This is one of the most skin-crawling parasitic encounters a person can have, and it happens more often than you'd think. So, how does this nightmare begin? It all starts with the adult botfly, which looks a bit like a small bumblebee. But this fly has a sinister reproductive strategy. It doesn't lay its eggs directly on you. Instead, it captures a blood-sucking insect, like a mosquito or a tick, and glues its eggs onto the insect's body. Then, it releases its unwilling accomplice. When that mosquito lands on you for a blood meal, your body heat triggers the botfly eggs to hatch almost instantly. A tiny larva, barely visible, drops onto your skin and wastes no time. It burrows headfirst into the flesh, often through the very bite wound the mosquito just created. Once inside, it has one mission: to eat and grow. It creates a small chamber for itself in your subcutaneous tissue, the layer of fat and tissue just beneath your skin. But it needs to breathe, so it keeps a small breathing hole, called a spiracle, open to the surface. That's the pulsing, oozing hole victims see. For the next 5 to 10 weeks, this uninvited guest will live under your skin, feeding on your fluids and growing larger and larger. People who have experienced this describe the psychological torment as being just as bad as the physical discomfort. Knowing that a living creature is wriggling around inside your body is a deeply disturbing thought. Some have described feeling it move when they shower, or when they lie down to sleep at night. There are documented cases of larvae burrowing into some truly terrifying places: the scalp, the eyelid, even near the tear duct. The constant sensation and the visible evidence of the invader can be maddening. Doctors often have to convince patients they're not imagining it, that there really is a maggot living inside of them. So, how do you get it out? You might be tempted to just squeeze it, but that's a very bad idea. The larva has rings of backward-facing spines that anchor it firmly in place. Squeezing it can cause it to rupture, spilling its internal contents into your body and potentially causing a severe allergic reaction or a nasty infection. The traditional and arguably most gruesome method is to block the breathing hole. People have used bacon, petroleum jelly, or thick tape to cover the opening. Deprived of oxygen, the larva starts to suffocate and will try to back its way out. Once its rear end is exposed, it can be grabbed with tweezers and slowly, carefully pulled from its fleshy home. More often, however, medical intervention is required. A doctor will administer a local anesthetic, make a small surgical incision, and carefully extract the larva. And what comes out is the stuff of nightmares. A fat, whitish, maggot-like creature, sometimes over an inch long, segmented and covered in those dark, gripping spines. The relief of having it removed is immense, but the memory and the small scar it leaves behind serves as a permanent reminder of the monster that was once inside. It's a chilling reminder that in the natural world, we are sometimes just a walking habitat. So next time you're in the tropics, wear that bug spray. You never know what might be trying to make a home out of you. Thanks for watching. And if you're into creepy real-life stories like this, be sure to follow for more.